Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm really glad that you're here, and whether you've already enrolled in SLAT7829 Corpus Linguistics and Text Analysis, or you're still exploring whether this course is right for you. Well, over the next couple of minutes, I just want to give you a clear picture of what this course offers and why I think you'll find it both quite exciting and actually incredibly valuable for your future. So, why should you take this course? All right. Let's start with a big question. So I can give you, I think, 5 compelling reasons why. So first, you'll be developing high demand skills. So corpus linguistics and text analysis aren't just academic exercises anymore. These skills are really increasingly thought after across multiple industries. So from education technology companies to publishing houses, from market research firms to tech giants, they all work with language applications. So employers are actively looking for people who can work with language data in systematic, evidence-based ways. Second reason is this course is incredibly practical and hands-on. So you won't just be reading about corpus linguistics, you'll be actually doing it. So we'll teach you industry standard tools like AntConc and the programming language R. And they're tools you can list on your CV immediately. And more importantly, tools you'll actually know how to use confidently in real world situations. The third reason for me would be, and this is particularly relevant in 2026, you'll develop AI ready competencies. So if you've been following developments in artificial intelligence and language technology, you know that all of these systems are built on language data. So understanding how to analyze and interpret that data is no longer optional knowledge. It's actually really essential. So this course gives you insights into how language basically powers everything from ChatGPT to translation apps to content recommendation systems. All right. The fourth reason for me is that you'll build a strong research foundation. So whether you're planning to write an MA thesis or you're considering maybe a PhD down the line, the skills you develop in this course will be absolutely fundamental for any research that lies ahead of you. So you learn how to design studies, how to analyze data systematically, how to draw valid conclusions from linguistic evidence. And the fifth reason is that the applications are incredibly versatile. So let me give you some examples from applied linguistics. So perhaps you're interested in developing teaching materials. Corpus analysis can show you which vocabulary items actually occur most frequently in academic texts. And that can help you to prioritize what you teach. Or maybe you're interested in language assessment. So you can use corpus methods to analyze authentic language use and create more valid test items. Or you might want to study how language varies across different contexts or investigate learner language patterns. So the methods you learn here apply to all of these areas and more. All right, let's have a look at the learning outcomes. Well, you'll actually be able to do what you'll actually be able to do after completing this course. So let me walk you through the key learning outcomes. First, you'll be able to describe and explain how language is actually used in different contexts. And this isn't about prescriptive grammar rules, it's about understanding real world language patterns. So for instance, you might discover that native speakers use due to very differently in academic writing compared to casual conversation. And you'll have the tools to investigate exactly how these patterns differ. Secondly, you'll design and conduct your own corpus-based research projects from start to finish. And this means you'll learn the entire research process, formulating research questions, building or selecting appropriate corpora, analyzing the data, and then also interpreting your findings. Thirdly, you'll effectively apply concepts and theories using professional tools. So we'll be working with AntConc, which is a very user-friendly software for corpus analysis, but also R, which is a very powerful programming language used in research and data analysis and data science all over the world. But please don't worry, if you've never programmed before, we build these skills gradually, so we don't expect you to have any prior knowledge. Fourth, you'll be able to practically apply these methods and think critically about language data. So it's not just enough to run analysis. You need to interpret them thoughtfully and evaluate their validity. And fifth, and this is particularly relevant for those who are interested in language teaching, you'll learn to identify patterns that distinguish learner English from native speaker English. So for example, you might find that intermediate learners overuse certain linking words like however or furthermore, and that they avoid phrasal verbs that native speakers use frequently. And these insights can directly inform your teaching practices. And finally, you'll learn to work with large-scale language data and communicate your findings effectively to different audiences, whether that's fellow researchers or students, educators, or industry professionals, right? So what makes SLAT7829 different from other courses that you might take? So let me highlight 6 unique features. So first, there's no prior programming experience that is needed. I know that sentence might make some of you nervous. Wait, programming? But honestly, we start from the absolute ground up. So if you can use a computer, you can learn what we're teaching. We'll build your skills up step by step, and you'll be amazed what you can do and what you can accomplish by the end of the semester. I really promise you that. Second, you'll work with real-world data sets, so you're not dealing with made-up examples or artificial language. You'll analyze authentic language from social media posts, academic research articles, news reports, and learner corpora. So, for instance, you might compare how climate change is discussed in scientific journals versus popular newspapers, or analyze grammatical patterns in essays written by English language learners at different proficiency levels. Third, we offer a flexible online plus on-site format. You can watch the lectures at your own pace. It's really important that you watch them actually. They're available a week before class, and then you come to the tutorials to do the hands-on practice and discussion. So this means you can review difficult concepts as many times as you need. Fourth, you'll be part of a supportive learning community. So our tutorials are collaborative spaces where you'll work with peers from diverse linguistic backgrounds. Some of your classmates might be native English speakers, others might speak Mandarin or Spanish or Arabic or dozens of other languages as their first language. So this diversity actually enriches everyone's learning experience. Fifth, the course content is currently quite cutting edge. So we include sessions on AI and computational methods in week 10 and 13. So you'll understand where to find where the field is heading and not just where it has been. And 6, your interests actually really matter. So the final project allows you to investigate topics that are relevant to your own career goals, whether you want to analyze political discourse or study children's language development or investigate medical communication or explore any other area of language use. You have the freedom to pursue your passion, as long as it relates to applied linguistics in some way, of course. All right. So let me talk about the practical question, right? How will this course enhance your career prospects? So if you're interested in education, these skills are incredibly valuable. You'll be able to develop data-driven teaching materials and curriculum based on actual language use rather than your intuition. So you can analyze learner language systematically to identify specific areas where students struggle and create targeted interventions. And you can design assessment tools and really reflect authentic language patterns. So, for example, instead of testing vocabulary in isolation, you could create exercises based on the actual collocations, so word combinations, that appear most frequently in relevant texts. If you're looking towards industry and technology careers, there's enormous demand for these skills. Natural language processing and AI companies actively value corpus analysis expertise. Content strategy and localization roles, helping companies, for example, adapt their content to different markets and languages, requires exactly the kind of text analysis skills you'll develop in this course. And market research and user experience research increasingly use corpus methods to analyze customer feedback, social media data, and also the use of interactions at scale, right? To not just look at individual posts, but really to look at large data sets. And if you're interested in research and academia, so these skills are absolutely essential for postgraduate work and publication. So corpus methods provide the methodological foundation of discourse analysis, social linguistics, translation studies, among many, many other fields. So where do our graduates actually end up? They work for educational publishers, in language technology companies, research institutions, in education tech startups, international organizations. So the skills are genuinely transferable across multiple career paths. All right. In terms of learning activities, so let me give you a quick overview of what we'll be doing week by week. So we'll start in week 1 with an introduction to corpus linguistics, exploring what this approach can reveal about language that might not be noticed through casual observation. In week 2, we discover major corpora. So what are these? These are large databases of language, and learn the principles behind designing them. Week 3 is where you get your hands on dirty. Your first corpus analysis using AntConc, which is a free software. In week 4, you'll build your own mini corpus from texts you collect. But don't worry, it's really just a very small corpus. We just want to show you how you can do that. And then in weeks 5 through 7, we'll spend 3 weeks learning R programming for text analysis, so building your skills incrementally. So week 8 then focuses on frequencies and keywords and collocations. You'll uncover hidden patterns, like discovering that the word strong appears with coffee and tea, but rarely with juice, for example. In week 9, we explore corpus pragmatics and discourse, analyzing how context shapes meaning. Then in week 10, that introduces computational text analysis methods like sentiment analysis and topic modeling. Week 11 is dedicated to designing your own research project. Basically, you should start before, but there we give you more hints at how you would do that over several weeks and what you need to focus on. Then in week 12, that expands your toolkit with advanced techniques and resources. And in week 13, we examine the intersection of corpus linguistics and AI, and you'll complete your final assessment. So let's look at the course components. The lectures are online and available from 1 week before each class session. So that means the week 3 lecture, for example, will be available in week 2. And you must watch them before coming to class, because this ensures that our time together is used most effectively. The readings include both obligatory and suggested materials, all provided on Blackboard. The main thing is that you don't need to buy books for this course. You'll really get materials that will be provided either by the library, or you can download them in another way. The tutorials are on-site sessions where you'll engage in activities, revisions, and discussions of both the lecture content and the required readings. So the tutorials is really where you have to be present because you'll learn a lot. That's where we do the practice. So just watching the lectures or doing the readings is just not enough. It's really, really hands-on, and you need the practice, which will be in the tutorials. The assessments then allow you to apply what you've learned, all managed through Blackboard or Turnitin. So all the submissions go through Blackboard and Turnitin, except for live interviews, which you obviously can't submit, right? So let me give you some of the success stories, because they really illustrate the impact of the course. So students have gone on to PhD programs in linguistics and applied linguistics at top universities. They've taken English language teaching roles where they use corpus-informed materials to make their teaching just more effective. They work in educational publishing and content development in language technology and tech, so education technology companies, and in research positions at universities and think tanks. So it's really wide field where our graduates are. And let me share 2 specific testimonials that really capture the value students find in this course. So one former student, I can't name the name, now works as a data scientist in China. And she said that really she only got that position because she took this course. So that was really great when I heard that. I met her when she came back to Australia some time ago. It was really, really nice. And another student of mine, she also took the course and she actually secured a PhD position at Sydney. And really, she's continuing working with Corpora and also has developed the R skills that allowed her to actually take on that role. So these aren't really isolated cases. They really represent the kind of opportunities that open up when you develop these skills. All right, just a quick note about the assessments. So you'll submit your work via Blackboard Ultra or Turnitin. Detailed task descriptions and rubrics are available in the course profile. There you'll find the task descriptions and the rubrics are available on Blackboard. So you'll always know exactly what's expected. Please make a note of the assessment deadlines in your calendar because it's really important that you submit on time. It really helps you if something's in the calendar that you don't forget about it, right? And that's also important because you need to apply for an extension before the due date through the official extension procedure that's described in the course profile. So if you need an extension, don't wait until after the deadline. It's too late. And also, it's not enough to send me an email. You really need to go through the procedure that's described in the course profile. All right, so that was my short, basically, introduction to you to the course. It's essentially a SLAT7829 in a nutshell, and we're really looking forward to going through this course together with you, and I hope you'll enjoy the coming semester. So whether you're joining us to build your research skills or enhance your career prospects, it's a really valuable course. I think it's genuinely fascinating and it's really helpful to be able to explore language systematically. And I think you'll find this course rewarding and valuable, but it's also a tough course. So you'll actually have to do a lot of work. I have to be honest about that. So welcome to Corpus Linguistics and Text Analysis if you sign up. And then let's get started in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, great talking to you. See you soon. Bye-bye.